Your whole world has become this path, just the space between the dark, dripping trees. Rain has been falling since midday, a soft but determined curtain of gray that soaked through the heavy wool of your cloak, chilling you right to the bone. Each drop that lands on the steel of your helmet makes a tiny, dull pat, a sound that has become the rhythm of your weariness. Your horse, a sturdy war mount with a patient soul, just plods onward, its head low. It trusts you, even as the forest gets deeper and the last of the twilight fades to an inky, endless black. Beside you, a massive shadow keeps pace. It's Boru, your loyal wolfhound, padding silently through the mud, his shaggy gray-black coat plastered to his powerful frame. He's a giant of a dog, taller than a colt, with a disposition as gentle as his size is fearsome. Every so often, he lifts his great head, his warm breath misting in the cold air, and you feel the reassuring nudge of his wet nose against your gauntleted hand. He's tired, too. You can feel it in his steady, heavy presence. The hunt was long, the chase was fruitless, and now the night has caught you both, far from the warmth of your own keep. The road is little more than a memory now, a treacherous lane of packed earth and uneven stone that the endless rain has turned to a slick, pulling mud. Your horse is careful, placing each hoof with practiced focus, avoiding the deeper ruts carved by merchants' carts that passed long ago. The air is thick with the scent of damp soil, of wet bark and decaying leaves, the primal scent of the deep woods. You can hear the rustle of some small creature in the undergrowth, quickly silenced. You hear the drip, drip, drip of water from a million unseen leaves, a vast and gentle chorus. Mostly, though, you just hear the rain. A constant, lulling hush that seems to absorb every other sound. A profound weariness has settled deep inside you. It isn't the sharp exhaustion of battle, but a slow, creeping fatigue that has seeped into every single muscle. Your eyelids feel heavy, weighted down by the damp and the dark. The steel plates of your armor, which are usually a comfort, now feel like a cage of cold iron. Each shift in the saddle sends a chill across your skin where the damp linen of your undertunic clings to you. You pull your thick wool cloak tighter, the damp fabric heavy on your shoulders, but it offers little comfort against the persistent cold. All you want is a dry place, a warm fire, a moment to let this heavy armor down. Boru lets out a low whine, a soft question in the dark. You reach down, your leather gauntlet creaking softly, and rest your hand on his broad, damp head. His fur is coarse and wiry, made to withstand this very weather, but you can feel the shiver that runs through him. "Soon, my friend," you whisper, your voice a rough murmur swallowed by the rain. "There will be shelter soon." You say it as much for yourself as for him. Traveling at night is unwise, a desperate choice. The darkness hides bandits and broken ground, and the forest feels ancient and watchful. And then through the tangled, rain-dark branches ahead, you see it. A flicker. So faint at first, you think it might be a trick of your tired eyes. A will-o'-the-wisp dancing in the gloom. But you pull gently on the reins, and your horse stills, its ears pricked forward. Boru stops beside you, his body tensed, a low growl rumbling in his chest. You watch, holding your breath. And there it is again. A steady, golden point of light. A candle or a lantern shining from a window. Hope, warm and sudden, blooms in your chest. It's a keep or a watchtower, an outpost, a place of shelter. With a soft click of your tongue, you urge your horse forward, the pace a little quicker now. Boru trots ahead, his massive form a dark promise leading the way. The muddy track widens slightly, the ground becoming firmer, mixed with gravel that crunches softly under your horse's hooves. The light grows stronger, resolving itself into a single, unshuttered window set high in a wall of dark, wet stone. You can just make out the shape of a small, fortified building, a square tower with a lower wooden structure attached, smoke curling from a stone chimney into the rain-swept sky. It's a border outpost, a place for sentries and messengers, simple and strong. As you draw closer, the smell of wood smoke reaches you, cutting through the damp air with a scent that promises warmth and dryness. Boru gives a short, sharp bark, not of aggression but of announcement. You hear the scrape of a heavy bar being lifted from inside and the low groan of a massive oak door swinging inward. A figure stands silhouetted in the doorway, holding a lantern high. "Easy, hound," a calm, low voice says. Then the light falls on you, glinting off the rain-slicked steel of your pauldrons. The figure, an old soldier by the look of his weathered face and steady gaze, gives a slow nod. There now, you're out of the rain, the chill of the night will soon leave your bones. Come, brave knight, bring yourself and your loyal hound closer to the hearth. The fire is warm and the stew is thick. You've traveled far and a long night's rest is well deserved. You swing your leg over the saddle, your muscles protesting the movement. Your boots sink into the soft, packed earth of the stable yard with a wet squelch. You hand the reins to a young boy who appears from the shadows, his eyes wide at the sight of your armor and the sheer size of your wolfhound. The old soldier smiles. He will see to your mount. Give him a good rub down and a warm mash. You nod your thanks, your throat too tight with cold and relief to speak just yet. Boru presses against your leg, shaking his massive body from nose to tail, sending a fine spray of cold water across the stone flags of the entryway. The old soldier just chuckles. A fine beast. He's earned his place by the fire as much as you. You step inside and the warmth is a physical presence. It wraps around you, a heavy, welcome blanket. The air is thick with the smell of wood smoke, roasting meat and drying wool. The room is simple but secure. A single large chamber with a high beamed ceiling. The floor is made of wide, rough-hewn planks, dark with age, and a thin layer of clean rushes has been spread across it, giving off a faint, sweet, earthy scent. The heart of the room is the hearth. It's not a fireplace as you know it, but a great stone hearth built against the far wall, large enough for a man to stand in. A massive log fire blazes within it, flames leaping and dancing, casting flickering golden light across the room, and painting the rough stone walls in shades of orange and deep shadow. The light catches on the iron fittings of the doors and the simple pewter mugs on a nearby table. It is the most beautiful sight you have ever seen. Boru, without needing any invitation, pads directly to the hearth. He circles once, twice, and then collapses onto the warm flagstones with a profound, groaning sigh that is pure contentment. He stretches his long legs out towards the flames, and you can almost see the steam begin to rise from his damp, wiry coat. "Let's get that wet cloak off you," the old soldier says, his voice a soft rasp. He helps you unfasten the heavy brooch at your shoulder, the metal cold against your fumbling fingers. The sodden wool cloak feels impossibly heavy as he lifts it from your shoulders. He hangs it from a large iron hook near the fire, where it immediately begins to drip, each drop hissing as it hits the hot stones of the hearth. Without the cloak, a fresh wave of cold washes over you as the air hits your damp gambeson and the steel of your armor. The chill seems to radiate from the metal itself. "You must be frozen to your plates," the soldier observes quietly. "Come, sit. Let the fire do its work before you try to unlace. I'll bring you something to warm you from the inside." He gestures to a sturdy wooden bench set before the fire. It's worn smooth with time, the wood darkened and polished by the many travelers who have sat there before you. You move stiffly, the joints of your armor groaning in protest, and lower yourself onto the bench. The radiant heat from the fire is immediate, a wonderful, almost painful tingling sensation as it begins to penetrate the layers of leather, padding, and steel. You hold your gauntleted hands out to the flames, feeling the warmth begin to seep into your stiff fingers. The old man returns with 2 steaming wooden bowls. He places one on the floor for Boru, who lifts his head, sniffs appreciatively, and begins to lap at the contents. The other he hands to you. It's a simple stew, thick with barley, chunks of pork, and root vegetables like onions and carrots. The steam rising from it carries the rich, savory scent of a slow-simmered meal. He also gives you a small, rough loaf of dark rye bread. "It's no lord's feast, but it's hot and it's filling," he says simply. You nod, your gratitude too deep for words. You haven't yet removed your helmet, so you just hold the warm bowl in your hands, letting its heat transfer into your palms, a small, grounding comfort in this safe and quiet place. You watch the flames, mesmerizing in their constant motion. You watch the shadows dance on the stone walls. You listen to the soft crackle and pop of the burning wood, the gentle lapping of Boru enjoying his meal, and the distant, muted drumming of the rain on the roof. Each sound is a confirmation. You're safe, you're warm, you are sheltered. The warmth from the fire and the stew bowl has begun to chase the deep chill from your body. A comfortable drowsiness is starting to settle over you, but you know you can't rest properly in this cold, heavy armor. The old soldier, whose name you learn is Alaric, seems to read your mind. "When you're ready," he says softly, "I'll help you with the buckles. It's a hard task to do alone when you're weary." You nod and place the half-empty bowl of stew on the bench beside you. First, the helmet. You lift your hands and unlatch the straps at your gorget, the plate that protects your throat. The leather is stiff and cold, but your fingers are more nimble now. With a soft click, the clasps release. You lift the great helm from your head. It's an immense relief. The weight from your head and shoulders is gone, and the cool air of the room feels wonderful on your face. The sounds of the room become sharper, clearer, without the metal shell to muffle them. The fire crackles more brightly. The rain sounds more gentle. You place the helm on the floor by the bench, its polished surface reflecting the firelight. You run a hand through your damp hair, a simple gesture of freedom that feels profound. Next are the gauntlets. You work the buckle on the right one first, pulling the worn leather strap free. You slide the articulated plates of steel from your hand, feeling the blood rush back into your fingers. You flex them, watching them move before placing the gauntlet on the bench with a soft metallic clink. Then the left, another clink. Your hands are free. Alaric moves behind you, his movements practiced and efficient. "The pauldrons," he murmurs. You feel his strong, steady fingers working at the leather points that tie the shoulder plates to your arming doublet. He's careful, his touch respectful of the fine steel. One by one, he unlaces them, the left pauldron first. He lifts the heavy, curved plates from your shoulder, and you feel a lightening on that side of your body. He places it carefully on a nearby wooden chest. Then the right, another release of weight. You roll your shoulders, feeling the freedom of movement. The cold steel is slowly, piece by piece, being peeled away. "Now the vambraces and cowders," he says, moving to your side. "These are the plates protecting your forearms and elbows." He works the buckles with a quiet efficiency. You hear the soft scrape of the buckle's tongue against the metal, the creak of the leather strap as he pulls it free. He slides the shaped steel from your arm, and you feel another layer of cold weight disappear. He does the same for the other arm. With each piece that's removed, you feel lighter, less constrained. The armor that protects you in the field has become a burden in this place of rest, and shedding it is a deep and profound relief. You stand up to make it easier for him to remove the cuirass, the breastplate and backplate. This is the heaviest part. The weight of it settles on your shoulders, held by thick leather straps. Alaric's fingers find the buckles at your sides and on your shoulders. One buckle comes undone with a sharp clack, then another. The straps loosen, and you feel the great weight shift. He helps you lift the breastplate up and over your head, its sheer weight a surprise even to you. The room seems to tilt for a moment as the burden is lifted. He sets it carefully against the wall, its polished surface a dark mirror reflecting the dancing fire. Then the backplate. The release is total. You're free from the solid shell. You take a deep, full breath, the first one you've been able to take in hours, your chest expanding fully without the constriction of steel. You feel almost weightless. All that remains are the leg harnesses, the cuisses for your thighs, the polans for your knees, and the greaves for your shins. You sit back down on the bench, and with Alaric's help, you begin to undo the final buckles and ties. The process is slow, deliberate. The soft clinking of the plates as they are unstrapped and removed becomes a gentle, rhythmic sound. The last piece, the steel-toed sabatons, are unbuckled from your leather boots. You're out. The full suit of plate armor now lies in neat, fire-lit pieces on the floor and chest around you. It looks like the empty shell of a great metal beast. You are left in your padded gambeson, your linen breeches and shirt, all damp with sweat and rain. But you are unbound. You stretch your arms above your head, arch your back, and let out a long, slow sigh of pure, unadulterated relief. The weariness in your muscles is still there, but it's a softer thing now, an ache of honest work rather than the crushing fatigue of being encased in cold steel. Boru lifts his great head from his paws and watches you, his dark, intelligent eyes blinking slowly in the firelight. He seems to understand the change, the release of tension. He gives a soft woof and thumps his tail once, twice, on the stone floor before resting his head back down, content. Alaric quietly returns. He has brought a basin of steaming water and a square of rough but clean linen cloth. He sets it on the bench beside you. To wash away the road, he says. The water is scented faintly with lavender, a simple comfort that feels like the greatest luxury in the world. You dip the cloth into the hot water, wring it out, and press it to your face. The heat is startling and wonderful. You wipe away the grime and sweat of the day's long journey. The scent of lavender fills your senses, a clean and calming aroma. You wash your neck, your hands, your arms. The simple act feels like a ritual, shedding the last remnants of the cold, wet world outside. The water grows murky and you feel cleaner, more human. Next, your boots. They're heavy, made of thick, oiled leather and caked with mud. You work them off one by one, your damp woolen hose peeling away with them. The relief of freeing your feet is immense. Alaric takes the boots and places them near the hearth, but not too near, so the leather can dry slowly without cracking. He also gives you a pair of simple, dry woolen stockings. Pulling them on over your cold feet is pure bliss. The soft, dry wool is a small miracle of warmth and comfort. You finally peel off the heavy, damp gambeson, the thick quilted tunic that serves as padding under your armor. It's stiff and smells of horse, rain, and iron. Alaric hangs it with your cloak, another dripping shadow by the fire. You're left in your simple linen undershirt and breeches. Though they're still slightly damp, without the weight and bulk of the outer layers, you feel light and free. The warmth of the fire now reaches your skin directly, and a deep, pleasant warmth spreads through your entire body. You sit back on the bench, your bare feet on the cool stone, wiggling your toes in the dry wool of the stockings. You pick up the bowl of stew again, which is still warm, and the piece of dark bread. You tear a piece of bread and dip it into the thick broth. It softens immediately, and you eat it slowly, savoring the simple, hearty flavor. You eat the chunks of pork and the soft vegetables, each bite warming you from the inside out. You're not at a lord's banquet with dozens of courses. You're in a simple stone room, eating simple food, and you have never felt more content. You finish the stew, wiping the bowl clean with the last of the bread. You feel a deep, satisfying warmth spread through your belly, a comfortable weight that anchors you to this peaceful moment. The weariness is returning, but now it's a welcome friend, a soft blanket pulling you down towards a much-needed sleep. Your eyelids are heavy again, but this time it isn't from cold or misery. It's the simple, honest call to rest. Alaric has been quietly moving about the room. Now he approaches and gestures towards a small alcove set into the stone wall, away from the main door. "Your bed is ready, Sir Knight," he whispers. You look over. It's a simple wooden cot, but it has been prepared with care. A thick straw-filled pallet lies on the frame, and on top of that is a folded, heavy wool blanket. It isn't a feather bed in a castle chamber, but to your tired eyes, it's the most inviting bed you have ever seen. It promises a deep, dreamless, and profound rest. You rise from the bench, every muscle in your body sighing with a gentle ache. You give Boru a final, soft scratch behind his ears. He doesn't even lift his head, but his tail gives another sleepy thump on the floor. He's at peace, drying by the fire, his belly full, his master safe. You walk to the cot. The stone walls of the alcove block any drafts, and the warmth from the great hearth has collected here, making it a small cocoon of comfort. The fire has burned down now from a roaring blaze to a deep, glowing bed of embers. The light in the room is softer, deeper, a gentle orange glow that makes the shadows long and soft. The room is quiet, so quiet. You sit on the edge of the cot, the straw pallet rustling softly beneath you. The wool blanket is coarse to the touch, but it smells clean and dry, of lanolin and wood smoke. You lie down, pulling the heavy blanket over you. The weight of it is a comfort, a gentle pressure that seems to push all the remaining tension out of your body. You lie on your back for a moment, staring up at the rough, dark beams of the ceiling high above. The world outside, with its cold rain and muddy roads and endless forests, feels 1,000 miles away. It can't touch you here. Here, there's only warmth and stillness, and the profound silence of a safe haven. You can hear the fire breathing in the quiet, a soft crackle as a pocket of sap bursts in an ember. A gentle hiss as the last of the moisture in the big logs is turned to steam. You can hear the rain, a gentle, hypnotic tapping on the roof, a lullaby played by the night itself. It's no longer a threat, but a comfort, a reminder of the storm you have escaped. You can hear Boru's breathing. He has fallen into a deep sleep, and his breaths are long, slow, and even. A soft, rhythmic inhale, and a long, quiet exhale ending in a soft little snore. The sound of his peaceful rest is deeply reassuring, a bass note in the quiet symphony of the room. You close your eyes. The darkness behind your eyelids isn't the oppressive black of the forest, but a soft, velvety darkness, warmed by the faint red glow of the embers that you can still sense through your closed lids. Your own breathing begins to slow, to deepen, matching the rhythm of the sleeping hound, of the gentle rain of the dying fire. You are sinking down through layers of comfort, through the heavy warmth of the wool blanket, through the soft support of the straw pallet, down into a deep, deep well of sleep. All the knots of weariness in your shoulders, your back, your legs begin to loosen, to melt away into the warmth. Your thoughts, which have been racing for days, begin to slow, to drift, to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to fight. There is only this moment, this warm, safe, quiet room. The gentle sounds of the night are your guardians now. The rain on the roof, the breathing fire, the sleeping hound. They are watching over you. You are safe. You are warm. You are finally completely at rest. Allow yourself to drift. Allow yourself to fall into the deep, healing sleep that you have earned so well. Let go. Let go. Sleep now. Sleep. If this story has brought you comfort and rest, consider subscribing for more peaceful journeys. Your support allows these moments of quiet to continue. Until our next adventure, good night.